Today we're at the stunning Stoke Park Golf Club, where we're going to be looking through the 5 generations of Callaway drivers. We're going to be looking from £45 with the FT5 all the way up to the newest Callaway Quantum Triple Diamond Max at £538. And we're going to work out, is there massive performance gains to be had by purchasing the newest equipment on the market? For this video, we have teamed up with Golf Clubs for Cash, the UK's leading retailer when it comes to second-hand golf equipment. The website itself is really easy to navigate. It's a breeze finding the right condition, loft, shaft flex, and specs that you need. Let's get into the video. First up is the Callaway FT5 at $44.95. Yes, under £50. That is actually less than you can purchase a dozen premium balls for nowadays, which is absolutely insane. Now, it's safe to say looks and technology has come on quite a long way since this driver was released back 19 years ago now in 2007. It's got a very triangular head with a very, very square leading edge. And yeah, I'm interested to hit some, get some data, and see just what this driver has to offer still. Blimey, that was loud. I mean, let's have a look at the data that we picked up here. I'll flash it up on the screen. That's from my Foresight GC3 launch monitor. We got 161 ball speed and 279 yards of carry. So that's still really, really solid from a golf club that came out 19 years ago. It does have that really high kind of composite tink to it when it took off the face, which I'm not such a fan of. I prefer that duller sound, but for just over £44, there's some serious value to be had, and beginner golfers could do a lot worse than putting one of these in the bag. Right, we have jumped up a price bracket now to £149, where I have the Callaway Rogue Sub-Zero. Now, this was a real game changer for Callaway when it came out around 2018. This features their jailbreak technology here, and it does have the forward weight here to bring the CG placement forward and reduce a bit of spin. So this should be pretty hot. We've moved on 11 years, so let's see what this technology has to offer. Wow, it's absolutely incredible how different this driver actually feels, and largely down to that jailbreak technology, producing those faster ball speeds across the face, but also this kind of addition of this carbon crown here really helped dampen the acoustics. It sounded much more muted than the FT5, and I saw a considerable pop kind of through the air, producing a much higher flight with less spin. So I definitely noticed some distance gains there. These ones, I mean, according to my data here on the GC3, it was only about 281 yards, so it's minimal gains. It's only a couple of yards here and there, but the spin actually dropped to around the 2,300 mark, as you could see, slightly less than the FT5. So we gained a bit of yardage, but you know, that was £100 more, give or take. So you have to weigh up these things, whether, you know, that slight distance gain is worth it for a little more money. Okay, we have now entered what I would call the modern era of this challenge here. I have the Callaway Paradym Triple Diamond. Now, these were a real revelation when they came out. You know, Callaway talk about this paradigm shift in distance and technology through this forged carbon kind of crown here. So we've got this carbon all the way across the top, a banner strip here with this carbon that just kind of flows across the sole there as well. Again, we've got jailbreak technology used through artificial intelligence and a fairly hefty 14-gram weight further forward to once again give us that forward CG, lower spin down behind the ball. I think this club actually, you know, we've shrunk in size compared to the Rogue. It's a much more compact head. Obviously, this is the Triple Diamond model, so it's designed to do that, but so was the Sub-Zero. So let's hit a few with this and see how we get on. Wow, that was a seriously impressive performance here from the Paradym and myself. May I say so. That's the best I've driven the ball in a long time. Maybe I need to actually invest in one of these. And that's where I think the second-hand market really shines, is the fact that you can get some equipment that really isn't that old and the technology's still pretty new. The performance is so good, but you're picking these up for an absolute bargain. For £246, I saw about 164 mph ball speed and 287 yards of carry. So we're really seeing the kind of speed jump as well as the carry, especially from the original FT5. Now, obviously we are paying a bit more for that, and that's up to you whether you need to, or you're willing to pay a bit more for a bit more yardage. But I was pretty impressed with that. I would hesitate to say this would roll out a bit further as well. It seemed to come out in a slightly lower window. So we're carrying it further, probably gonna see a bit more run out. So our total yardage gains are probably pretty significant. But let's see what the AI Smoke has to offer. Okay, we have jumped up a year to 2024, and at £335, we have the Callaway Paradym AI Smoke. Now, we've still got this forged carbon design, which I think looks really, really cool, and especially when the sun shines, although we don't get much of it here in the UK, unfortunately. But this crushed carbon looks absolutely insane. We've actually got a new face design here. This is where Callaway introduced their AI smart face using their supercomputer. So they process thousands of shots hit to determine where golfers are actually hitting the ball out the face. Believe it or not, it's not the middle all the time. So there are actually multiple sweet spots across this face to basically enhance ball speed and maintain consistency regardless of your strike location. I put this driver in play when it first came out and absolutely loved it. So let's see what numbers we get out of the launch monitor. Well, some pretty consistent numbers there, which I was hoping I would see out of this with the new Smart Face design. I kind of hit it a bit all over the place where it felt like out the face there, but I absolutely love the ball flight I saw. Really consistent trajectory, really consistent spin numbers as well, and impressive speed and distance. So around 165 mph ball speed and a 288 yard carry. So we're only about a mile up and a yard further than the original Paradym, but the consistency I saw out of the ball flight was what really impressed me. Now, you may have noticed, and it threw me off at first as well, that this one has this massive Jumbo Max grip on it, which is kind of one of the quirks, I guess, of shopping secondhand golf equipment. You are purchasing essentially whatever shaft and whatever grip whoever had loved this golf club already had put on it to suit their game. So obviously be careful of that. This isn't something that I would necessarily buy, or if I did buy it because of the shaft and the head makeup, I would probably get this grip ripped off and I'd put a new grip on there. But it is something to consider. Some people may like it, and it is a good experiment. You can, potentially try some new things that you may not have done otherwise. So check them out. But let's move on to the newest in the Callaway lineup. That is the Quantum Max Triple Diamond. Okay, finally we are here in 2026. This is the Callaway Quantum Triple Diamond Max. Now there is carbon everywhere, AI everything, and we've got this new face design here which kind of has this layering system of titanium and carbon and polymer. So you get this really you're supposed to get this really hot ball flight. You also get this cool weight track system here on the back where you can slot the weight between neutral or fade bias depending on your preference, as well as obviously an adjustable hosel to change lie and loft. It's a really, really cool looking head. I like the fact that they've actually almost digress back to what the looks of the AI Smoke were over the Elite. The Elite Triple Diamond had this kind of just black gloss crown. I like the fact you can now see this gloss carbon again on the crown. I think it stands out, and the banner strip on the front is really easy to align the ball. Right, let's see what £538 buys us. Wow, that is absolutely incredible. That is the highest ball speed I have seen in a while, 168 mph. I saw around 296 yards of carry, which is considerably more than, well, a couple yards more than the last model, but you know, we're talking 15 yards or so more than the original FT5 we tested here today. It's pretty incredible, but it's a lot of money. It looks great, and it is by far the best performing driver out here. I saw the ball kind of go up and it just wanted to keep going, not wanting to come down. Nice high towering ball flight. But in the world of golf, we need to talk about diminishing returns. Okay, so I'm going to pop up the data here next to me. Feel free to pause that and have a look at your own leisure, but I'm going to run you through the data while I've got it in front of me here. Let's just look at those numbers. So the Callaway FT5 actually gives you over 6 yards per pound, which is by far the best out of the 5 drivers that I tested today. The Quantum, while being the longest, gives you just 0.55 yards per pound, which is, you know, it's a pretty substantial difference between that and the FT5. Obviously, we then, you know, as I've talked about earlier, mentioned how it does look much nicer, it feels much nicer, and the acoustics are far more bearable than the FT5, but these are all things that you need to consider. You are paying a massive premium, but that is for 17 years of technology and aesthetics that have gone into this design of the Quantum Triple Diamond Max. So again, it's something that you do need to think about, but ultimately you still have to love the look of your club. And while there is performance to be had out of the FT5, like I've just proven there, and beginners could definitely benefit from that, I do think the sweet spot would be somewhere in between around the Paradym and the AI Smoke. That was when I saw that kind of jump up in ball speed and distance without really breaking the bank. So a couple years old product, and it's still very good performance. So what have we learned? Well, the second-hand market is an absolute goldmine. Whether you're after a £45 bargain or a £500 powerhouse, there is definitely value to be had. And golf clubs for cash make it really easy to upgrade your bag without emptying your bank account. If you've enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the like button down below, as well as subscribing so you don't miss any future videos from Golf Monthly. But from me here at the beautiful Stoke Park, I'm in a rush because I'm going to jump on my laptop and see if I can find a matching 3-wood to that Callaway FT5.